those of us are saying, like, look, you pushed us into this corner, so now we're saying we won't vote for anyone but McCarthy. That's why we're saying it, because we cannot let the terrorists win.
The Republicans are at it again, except this time they're fighting with each other. That was Dan Crenshaw, Republican congressman from Texas, who rightfully directed his frustrations at the conservative extremists stalling the House Majority leadership elections until it eventually resolved after 15 grueling rounds of voting, negotiations, and even physical altercations. And Crenshaw's comments, which, by the way, accurately depicted the sheer dysfunction of House Republicans in leadership, nonetheless infuriated Fox pundits like Tucker Carlson, who said this.
Yet today, Congressman Dan Crenshaw of Texas, a surrogate for Kevin McCarthy, did. In fact, he did what neocons always do. He labeled anyone who doesn't like a terrorist. Oh, they're terrorists now. It's hard not to see the connection, because over the past few years, pretty much every part of the war on terror has been turned against the domestic political enemies of the neocons.
Tucker Carlson's labeling of Crenshaw as a neoconservative is odd, if not a little misappropriated. But more importantly, what this signals is an important shift for Tucker Carlson as he attempts to frame anything less than enthusiastic support for extremist ideals as opposition to the conservative party at large.
Tucker Carlson did something new last night. Explicit friendly fire. It shouldn't be a surprise. This is the next logical step in pushing his viewers further to the fringes of the extreme right. For the last 2 years, Tucker has told his viewers over and over again that Democrats see them as terrorists for voting Republican. Watch.
Any American who disapproves of Joe Biden's performance is a terrorist. Why are they denouncing you as a seditionist, an enemy of the state? What do you do to terrorists? Well, you know what you do.
Now, apparently it's Republicans like Dan Crenshaw who are so frustrated by the destructive tactics of their extremist counterparts and are willing to call them out on their manipulative political maneuvers. Yeah, they're the enemies now. And this reveals a key framing technique for extremist conservatives. For this bunch, there is no spirit of good faith or compromise, which is something that I don't think most people reasonably expect in politics these days. But even more reproachingly, there's an intentional exploitation of the governmental procedure and the democratic process. And even then, methods like these have been used by both sides of the aisle for what I consider deserving and not deserving means. But the justifications behind these deliberate dysfunctions held by alt-right extremists like Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert are nonsensical red herrings that dog whistle their prejudiced bases towards hot-button identity issues, distract from the behind-the-closed-door deals that corporate politicians are hoping to score from their donors. Leading Republican figures prove once again their sheer lack of faith in democratic principles and policies, or they only reinforce their commitments to their own personal wealth and greed, or their unabashedly practiced prejudices. But the consequences of such a framework are even more daunting and dangerous. In this understanding of the Republican Party, nothing short of legislative malfunction, the undermining of American democracy, is the ideal political circumstance. And when you normalize anti-democratic sentiments, when you segregate and discriminate against social group lines, and when you practice hate and divisive politics, you are no longer Republicans. You are fascists. This is Adrian Costa, The Breakdown. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check back for more videos. See you guys soon.